Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the farm stay fanatic herself, Sandy Reevy. Say hi.
Hi, everybody from Ikarian Farm Stay.
It is episode 325, the week of October 14th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have today, Monday the 14th, Sun square Mars.
Mediate.
And Venus opposing Uranus.
Look what I found.
Tuesday the 15th, Venus trine Neptune retrograde.
Find solace.
Then Sandy's conflict day, Thursday the 17th, full moon at 24 degrees of Aries.
Rise and set and see.
And Venus sextile Pluto.
Be loyal.
And Venus ingress Sagittarius.
Climbing up and out.
Then in our house, Sandy and I share our stories about our post-retreat at the Ikarian Farm Stay. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you.
Hello, Farm Stay fanatic.
Hey, this has been an eye-opener, huh? It's just so interesting to listen to Georgios, the owner here, giving us tips.
Yeah, Georgios.
On how to live a long time.
Yes. So the immaculate views that we have right now as we're recording this podcast on a little pad on this ancient stone terrace that overlooks the sea, all of this Ikarian island. It's absolutely wonderful. So you might hear some birds, some farmers out in the distance, some...
And actually what's interesting is we are sitting on the same stone, 500-year-old stone veranda that we kind of found this hidden spot with this olive tree in our face. Mm-hmm. But if you were ever to see that the Centurion Netflix documentary
mm-hmm.
on the blue zones, we are waving to you from that exact spot.
Yes,
we are sitting in that exact spot that you see on that. Is it episode 2 or 3?
Can't remember.
It's the Ikaria Greece blue zone.
Yes. All right, so without further ado, let's move into the transits where we have a decent week and Sandy's conflict day is in here. So keep your eyes open and ears open. So October 14th, Monday today, Sun square Mars is our first transit.
Hey, this is a square, and this happens twice a year, and this is Mediate. Right? This is Sun making a square to Mars. So step in between to disperse negative vibrations, right? What is this all about? Who's got their pants in a tizzy and why? Separate for one day, at least until tomorrow, because tomorrow will be more of a calming because we're going to get a trine to Neptune from Venus. So tomorrow is a calming period to understand what this Monday was all about. What is this clash that you are having between who you think you are and what others think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
that mediation.
Mediate.
All right. So same day, Monday, October 14th, Venus opposing Uranus.
Look what I found, right? She is scouring a new hidden aspect or gem. She has just found something, whether she was searching for it or not. Looky, mommy, what I found. It's kind of like this Venus making an opposition, right? It's some kind of like note to self, making a purchase of some sort that you didn't expect that can actually hold a lot of sentimental contribution. So It's like, look what I found. I wasn't expecting this.
I think we found a lot of that here in Greece, looking at all of the beautiful souvenirs that they have. But, okay, so let's move on. Tuesday, October 15th, Venus trine Neptune retrograde.
Again, find solace. This is that better calming period that we had on that from yesterday that we had on Monday. This Tuesday is more of a peace pact, right? Find the common denominator with whatever was occurring yesterday. Because have you forgotten it? I doubt it. Bring it to the surface again, right? This Venus in Scorpio. trining the Neptune in especially retrograde in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces, so she wants to go deep and bring something up to kind of offer it to the other person to say, hey, this is what we're standing on. This is the reason why we might have had differences. But let's find a common denominator. Mm-hmm. Again, what is our vision statement? What is our mission statement? And I really think it's good. I was just telling somebody while we were here that, as you're building a business or you're building a relationship, find the common denominator early on, right? And maybe every anniversary, revision that. Sit down. What new words do you need? What things have you acquired over the year, 5-year, or whatever anniversary that is find that peace pact, right? Oftentimes, like we've done our mission statement a couple times because we have grown. Right. And some of those things we said early on aren't that we've reached beyond that.
Yeah.
So this is a really good time to come up with your vision statement in the water signs.
Right. And find solace there. Find I got it. This feels good. This is where I want to stay for a little while.
Yeah. And everything should surge to that.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to your conflict day, which is Thursday, October 17th. And we start off with the full moon at 24 degrees of Aries.
Yeah, this is called, I did call it rise and set because a full moon, full moon is when the sun is opposite the moon, or the moon is opposite the sun. This is the sun at 24 degrees of Libra, which means the moon is at 24 degrees of Aries. So this is at 6:26 a.m., which is the Chicago time. So that means the sun is arising as the moon is setting. So rise, set, see, right? Mm-hmm. See it. Mm-hmm. Get up to see it. We've got the moon conjunct Chiron. We've got this opposition square Mars and square Pluto. So it really has this tug of war, walk gently, pulling taffy. Like, make sure it's the flavor you crave. Make sure it's the flavor you need, because you're going to have to do some stretching and pulling and some kneading, like we were learning up, you need a certain way, right? You don't pull it towards you, you push it away from you with your knuckles, right? It's like this is a tug of war. We have a grand cross here. We got the opposition of the sun and the moon, and we have the opposition of Mars and Pluto. So,
and this is why you called it the conflict day.
It's my conflict day.
Because if we try to pull too hard, it breaks.
It's going to snap, and it won't. Like we were doing dough, we were doing phyllo dough. And if you don't do it right from the beginning, it never connects again.
Right, because you kind of saturated it. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That makes sense?
Yes. Yeah. So, still the same day, Thursday the 17th, Venus sextile Pluto.
This is a sextile. This is okay. This is about being loyal, right? This is hold on to what maybe that one promise you made, or that one promise you need to make, right? Time may be to reward it. You might need some time under your belt to get the reward of it. But what will you die for, right? What will you ride or die for? We always hear that, you're my ride or die or whatever that is. But what is that on a personal level that you must be loyal to? It's really important. It's Venus. It's Venus in Scorpio. And this is the last degree. So this is the last opportunity for her in Scorpio, a place that she does not like to be. Right? She'd rather be, oh, hello, how are you? How was your day? You look beautiful. But in Scorpio, this whole last 3 weeks has been, like, this is bothering me. This is, why do you dress like that? Or why do you wear, like my uncle would say, why do you wear so much eye makeup? Right? And I was like, okay. But really, what are you loyal to? What will you die for? And I don't really mean like putting yourself, under the sword, but what is so important to you? Yeah.
What is the top priority value that you have that is non-negotiable?
make that promise. You know, are you up against something that you made a promise at one point and you're like, think about that. Mm-hmm. Are you making a promise around this time that says, can I be loyal to what I claim?
All right, so our final transit of the week, Venus ingress Sagittarius, also on Thursday the 17th, and you call this climbing up and out.
Oh my gosh, Venus is now done with Scorpio, right? She is like those deep waters. She's climbing up and out. Find the need to take on the world. Rejoice of rejuvenation. Hallelujah. Right? She's moving into Sagittarius. She doesn't have rain there, but she is out of her debility of Scorpio, and then she gets to rise up and go to the top. She is leaving the depths of the darkness of the deep waters, of more of an emotional being to okay, let me take a deep breath here and stand at the top and like spread my arms because I can breathe.
And dry out.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our week of transits for this week. And let's move into our house where we have some short stories that we want to share with you about our post-retreat that we are just finishing up in Ikaria, which is the Ikarian myth of...
Yeah, flying of Daedalus and the sun... Ikaria flying too close to the sun because his father is trying to get them out of the entrapment. And so he's been collecting all these bird feathers, and he puts the candle wax and makes these wings, and he shows his son how to work it. And he says, do not fly too close to the sun. You will melt the candle wax, but don't fly too close to the sea, because the mist of the water will dampen your feathers. So stay right in the center, son. Follow me. Mm-hmm. And he flew too close to the sun.
And this is that mythological island that we're staying at, Ikaria. And it was a ferry ride to get over here, but it's really a truly beautiful island. We first kind of heard of this place is a blue zone, and that's how a lot of people know of it. That's where this farm stay that we're staying at right now has gotten decently famous from the Netflix documentary. But the fun story is, and we should share the story of how you kind of came about this post-retreat location.
Right. No, when I got back from Greece last year, and I had not known anything about Ikaria, when we left Amargos and went to Santorini for some R&R, and I got back home and I was still on the jet lag thing, and I had a dream about going to this island next as an R&R after the Amargos retreat for 2024. And I pictured this, which I think I remembered this picture that's in my mom's in the children's bathroom at my mom's house that has been hanging there for 45 years.
Yeah.
And it's right at my mirror, like the mirror that I would always use when I was growing up as a kid. And I think that's what it was, but I didn't recognize it until later. But I saw this picture in my head, and I woke up and thought, I want to go there for R&R. Talk about going back in time, going back in space. That's where I want to spend my time. And I talk to him, I get a hold of him, I find it on Airbnb, I call Georgios, and because he was awake, because it was 8 hours,
middle of the night,
it was the middle of the night in Chicago, and it was during the day here, and we started chatting, and I went ahead and booked it, and paid my money, and gave him the dates that I wanted, and blah, 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 and I booked the whole place. And you came, and the next morning when you woke up, I showed you, look what I did. I didn't get your permission, Alex. I just went ahead and did this.
And it's going to be our post-retreat location.
Yeah, and I booked it already, and it's a year in advance, and this is our post-retreat location. And she goes, oh, and you were like, oh, it's
going to be cool.
That's nice. That's cool. And a couple days later,
I was watching the Netflix documentary, The Secret of the Blue Zones, and one of the episodes is the island of Ikaria in Greece, and it's about the Ikarian people and how they live to be centenarians, over 100 years old, and so many of the people here live so long, not only because they work during the day, but it's their Mediterranean diet. It's also the wine that they drink here that they ferment in clay pots, and it's this really wonderful exploration of the island and how these people grow to be so old. And then as I was watching it, I go, that house, that farm looks so familiar, even though I'm sure a lot of them looked very similar. But we paused the episode, me and my boyfriend, we paused the episode, and I start searching all over Airbnb to try to find that Airbnb listing that my mom had shown me that day. All of a sudden, I find it. It's the exact same one. Georgios and his wife were a part of this Netflix documentary and teaching the host about the Ikarian diet and everything like that. So I call up my mom, I call up you, and I say, get to your... It was kind of late.
It was late,
and you finally probably fell asleep. But I said, get to your
television,
and sign on and start watching this episode and tell me what you think. And all of a sudden, it goes, and we notice the exact same farm stay.
Like, wow.
And oh my gosh, we're going to that exact location.
That's insane, crazy.
Yeah. So cool.
And so here we are.
And here we are.
And we brought a lot of people with us and putting them in these 500-year-old rooms that were, let's see, one lady went into the wine cellar. Mm-hmm. One lady went into the kitchen.
We went into what was the chicken coop.
We went into the kitchen coop.
But yeah, it's like we have so many vineyards, and there's so many like really wonderful things that we've learned along the way, not only about longevity, but about the ancientness of Georgios's family farm that has been passed down after generation and generations here in Ikaria, and like the way that they even saved this varietal of grape that was almost extinct, and now they've gotten it back up to 7,000 vines of this. So it's so very cool.
We all need to just stop and realize where we come from and what is the importance of life.
Totally.
In fact, one thing I found really interesting is they have 0 comfortable chairs. There's absolutely no couch.
No.
There are very few. There's no carpet. It's maybe slate. And they said, no, we don't need comfortable furniture. We're constantly working or walking.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And we see it. We see it here. They're rarely sitting down. And when they are, trust that it is uncomfortable furniture.
And I'm looking at Georgios right now, and he's been having this conversation for about a half hour, and he's standing while the other person is sitting.
Right.
Just very interesting. Let's go see if we can get him
in the next episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try and get
all right. We will ask
him.
And hopefully next week we're going to have a little talk with Georgios, the owner of the Ikarian Farm Stay. Thanks everybody for listening in to this short episode. We will talk to you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one, you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story